I can like write up. You said you could write a book? Like I got all this stuff on one thing. Okay, so 2 minutes. So start out just with the little stuff. Okay, try to take a couple of minutes and finish this up the best that you can. Okay, so as you guys are finishing this up, I'll give you guys a couple of notes. I want you guys to make sure that you know I'm also the student council advisor, one of the two, and we have a meeting tomorrow. So if you're interested in being more involved here at the Excel Center, then we have a meeting tomorrow in the Student Success Space, which is right over there. It's on the next hallway. That meeting will be from 12:30 to 12:55. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to have you guys do, I'm not going to have you read your entire piece. I just want to know a couple of things. So the first thing that I need to know is your name And I want what you prefer to be called, but I do also need your legal name. So if you have a shortened version of your name, an example, my son's name is Drewy, but we call him Drew. So make sure that you let me know what that name is, what you prefer to be called. I won't call you things like Tarzan, Grand Supreme Lord of all. I won't call you those things. So give me whatever you prefer to be called. What's that?
What about a title?
If that's a version of your name, sure. So give me what you prefer to be called, and then I want to know what your goal is. So if you want to get a high school diploma so you can go on to whatever, I want to know what that is. That will help me a little bit in tailoring some of the information and some of the things that we do. So I want to make everything that we do in here applicable to what you're going to do later on. Okay? You don't need to stand up, but you need to be loud enough that everybody can hear you. So for those of you who are not talkers, I apologize, but we've got to get through this. So Shelly, I'm going to start with you.
Shelly Coombs.
Shelly Coombs.
For those are 20 years, getting my high school diploma and getting started on my way of earning my certificate for ACE and CNA. I am hoping to graduate in 9 months and get enrolled, doing all that, going to Ivy Tech, and get a job in the daycare center.
Okay, thank you. Just give me a couple of things about yourself. Go ahead.
My name is Charlie Talley. I'm here to get my high school diploma and then go to Ivy Tech for my CNA license.
So we ain't gotta do what we wrote on the paper, right?
No, just have to give me a couple things about yourself and your name. Okay? Christian.
My name's Christian Isham. I'm here to get my 440 and then go on to get my mastery in welding.
Brandon Mendoza. Here to get my high school diploma and then go on to college for respiratory care.
Okay, thank you. Ready?
Yeah. My name is Kristen
What's your last name?
Pearson.
Okay.
And I want to get my high school education and go to college and get a degree. And I'm undecided. I don't know what I want yet. That's pretty much it.
Okay, thank you.
My name's Brooklyn Grant. You can call me Brooklyn, and I just want to graduate. I don't know what I'm going to do yet.
Okay. Alvin, do you need to go?
No, I'm good.
Okay, thank you. Ready?
My name is Steven Lance. I'm going to get my diploma, and I don't know what to do after. Probably construction.
Okay. Thank you. Ready?
My name is Brandon. I'm just here to graduate.
Okay. Brandon, what's your last name?
Like,
Okay. Okay. Ready? Nate, ready?
David Madden.
Please.
Here to pick up where I left off. I already have 2 degrees in school already. Just having that one line up and saying I have a high school diploma. And I'm proud to say that I'm back in school after 35 years and going with my grandchildren now.
Okay. Thank you. Ready?
Yep. My name is Kim, and I don't know what I'm going to do with my diploma.
What's that, Emily?
That's all I got.
Okay.
I didn't quite hear what you said.
I said, my name is Marina.
Oh, Marie.
Yeah.
Emily.
No. But I don't know what I'm doing. Just
Okay.
Okay.
It is kind of hard to hear in here, so it's the fan is on. The room is going to be really hot because there are so many bodies in it. So I apologize for that, but we do need to stay quiet so we can hear everybody. Shania? Shania? What are your goals?
Hey! What it is?
No, she's not. Just can't hear. Okay. Shania.
My name's Shania. I'm just using my name. Why didn't you leave behind me?
Okay. To get your high school diploma? Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Ready?
Hey, my name is Joshua Glasper. Call me Josh. And my goals are to get my diploma and do the military.
Okay. Thank you. Ready? Okay.
Just want to get my high school diploma so I can go back to business.
And they're white. Okay, ready?
My name is Nikki Walsh, and I'm here to get my high school diploma and go to college and take advantage of the
Okay.
My name is Louise. I'm here to get my school diploma for my degree already.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
My name is Jordan Carlo, and I want to get my diploma so I can be an arborist.
What's the last thing?
That's awesome.
So you can be a what?
An arborist.
What's that? What do they do? Armorist.
Trees, like landscaping, and fun
I did last time.
Okay.
That sounds like
trees.
that.
Ready?
Madeline is snakes. I can find my high school diploma so I can go to college.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, I'm Shannon McClish. I want to get my diploma and for my education to do something at the world.
Okay, thank you. Tessa?
My name is Tessa. I'm a graduate of high school and I'm going to college.
Okay. Alvin?
Now, my name is Alvin. I'd rather go by being on road, but I plan on going to college for 4 years after I get my diploma and start selling in business management. So I'm sorry, open up a shop.
Okay. You ready?
My name's Zach. I'm here to try to reload some of the education I did take advantage of in high school, and hopefully also take advantage of some of the production going. Try to get into a better job instead of bouncing around one job to the other. Get with a good company. Stay with them.
Good. And do you go by Zach with an H or a K? Okay, thank you.
Ian Monty. I'm here to get my high school diploma. I want to go to the military and learn about all y'all accomplishments.
What? I'm gonna be looking for that play.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be on.
Okay. I know. Did you see Nick's room? Oh, yeah. He's got like 40 in there.
Hey,
Hey, can you guys call me? My name is P. Merchant. Call me P. Merchant. Hey, P. Merchant. Hey, by the way, I hate
Okay, ready? In the back? I don't know anybody's name, so I can't call you by name yet.
Oh, I came to the Excel Center to get my diploma. So, once I got my diploma, I go to college to become a photographer.
Okay. And your name is Josh, right?
Josh, yeah.
Okay.
My name is Jamie, and I want to get my diploma and go to Florida State University.
Go ahead, man.
What's your name, Jim? Go ahead with that.
Okay, ready? Last one.
Jimmy.
I ain't gonna summarize it because I really did right.
And what's your name?
And then Jonathan, being in the sales, so my goal is to do the program, stuff like that, and then do all the reviews that I had to do in high school, but I feel as though this shoot for me, 5 years of experience in life that I've been living, going, with completing these jobs, the task, with the open doors, with the dreams I never did, doing.
Alvin.
But I have my high school degree or not. So it'll be the first step that I took. I wish I never, you know what I'm saying, would have finished it long ago. but I really didn't know what I had, no major goals were, you know, so I was going to go over this a perfect time for me to go here and have that self-awareness of saying this is the real one life and doing it allows you to become a better person and know what myself is really about. And I'll take the time doing this right now.
Okay. And I like that. I love that you said, I wish I had done this the first time around. How many of you feel like, man, I should have did this the first time around? Okay. So many of you are in this situation because of your past and because of the things that have happened to you. I know some of you, so I know some of your experiences in school were not great. My experiences were not great. There's a student here, and he and I went to elementary school together, and I know that was a long time ago. But because of the things that I did to him, and because of the way that our teachers were with us, he was not successful the first time around. And it wasn't all him. Some of it was me, because I was really mean. But because of that, he wasn't in a place to be successful. You guys are taking a step, and I commend you for that, because you're taking a step that a lot of people haven't. My husband doesn't have a high school diploma. My brother doesn't have a high school diploma. My husband has a GED. My brother has a jailhouse GED. I don't know what that is. He made it himself. So they weren't successful the first time around because they didn't realize what opportunities they had in front of them. So I'm going to do everything that I can to help you guys be successful in this. But what we're going to do now is go over the syllabus. And the syllabus is my way to help you guys figure out how you can be successful. Some of the stuff on here, you may think, man, this is hardcore. She is not very nice. I don't like this. And you're going to have to just get over that. A few of you were in class with me last hour. Yep. Somebody's already kicked out of class. I have no problem opening the door for you as you exit. But I do have a problem with people being here who aren't serious and who aren't going to be dedicated. Alvin, I need your mouth to stay quiet. I need you guys to focus. We have a lot to go through, and we don't have enough time to get through it. This class would be wonderful if it were spread out, but we have a very limited amount of time to get through a lot of stuff and to prepare you guys for the rest of your academic career. I'm not even going to attempt to get through this aisle, so just take one and pass it around, okay? So as I'm going through this information, if you have questions, please listen for the answer. And if you don't get the answer, then ask your question, okay? So this is the course syllabus. This is how you are going to really navigate through the class. Think of this as your roadmap to being successful in this class. In order to be successful in this class, there are some things that you need to do, and there are some things that I am going to do to help you. So we should have a few extras. Just leave them back there for me, Alvin. Thank you. So the first thing that's listed here is my name. I go by Mrs. Warner. I'm not your friend. My name is not Martha to you. I am Mrs. Warner. So call me Mrs. Warner. You need to spell that, so it's always going to be up here. You will use that for all of your formal papers, so you need to know how to spell it, and that's right up there. Right below that, you will see my email address. I also have it listed over here. You can email me at any point and ask me any questions, but I also have my cell phone number over there. So you guys see my cell phone number listed there. Lock it in your phone. You can call me. You can text me. You can send me emails. Whatever you need to do to get me information. If you are going to be late, let me know. If you're going to miss a class, let me know. Unfortunately, this is the only writing 3 that's being taught here this term. And next term, this class will not be by itself. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that here in just a minute. So you need to get through this class this term. As much as you possibly can, you need to get through this class. So communication is a really big deal to me. So make sure you're communicating anytime you have any issues. The course description is listed there. This course is to help you guys be successful with the ECA. Very specifically, we are going to focus in on the skills and strategies that you need to write a successful essay for the ECA. So I want to help you guys pass it. I want to help you guys get through it. How many of you have passed the ECA already? Okay. So if you have passed it already, then you probably just need the credits for the class. So that should be a huge weight off of you. But for those of you who haven't passed the ECA or don't know what it is, then you probably haven't passed it. You really need to focus in on the skills that we're going to use to write an essay so you guys can be better at that. For those of you who want to move on, if you move on and you go to a 2-year college or a 4-year college, you have an entrance exam. The entrance exams have essays on them. So I'm going to show you guys skills and strategies that will help you be successful even on those entrance exams. That's what I did for 5 years at Ivy Tech. I taught students how to write essays so they could be successful on the Accuplacer or on the Compass exam. So this course is about helping you guys put together a cohesive, well thought out essay. You will get 2 credits for this class. So 1 credit will be a grammar credit and 1 will be a composition credit. Those both go into your English area. So for those of you who passed the ECA, you probably just need more credits in the English area. And that's probably why you're in here. So this isn't like the English 3 class where you're getting a history credit and an English credit. This one you just get English credits, 2 English credits. If you've been here before, you used to be able to get 1 or the other, but not necessarily both. They cut that out last term, so you either get 2 or you get none. So we're going to work on getting you guys 2. The course learning objectives. So we're going to focus on the creating a thesis statement or a main idea for an argument or an essay, composing different types of essays. So we're going to do several different types of essays in this class. We are also going to do a research essay. So we are going to walk through that together, and I promise you, if you do the steps to get to the end result, you will be successful. If you refuse to do the steps, or you struggle with any of the steps and you don't want to talk about it and you just say, screw it, I'm not doing that part, then you will probably not be successful on it. That is something that I can hands down guarantee you guys. So we're going to do a lot of steps to get to the end result. So I'm not going to say, hey guys, go home and write me a 5-page essay. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to say, okay guys, this is the first step in this process. It's kind of like, I do a lot of food references. So it's kind of like when you're baking a cake. You don't just, poof, there's a cake. It would be nice. I need it all. But we have to get through the steps of the process, okay? So we're going to go through the steps of the process. We're going to apply the writing process in this class. So we're going to be working a lot with the writing process. Methods of evaluation. So the essay and the parts of the essay will make up 55% of your grade. So the majority of your grade is going to come from writing the essays and doing the parts to the essays. Your assessment. So you will have a midterm, and it's not going to be a midterm exam per se. It's going to be a midterm assignment. And then you're going to have a final assignment, or a final exam. Those things will make up 25% of your grade. For those of you who've had me in English 3 in the past, you are not going to have vocab in here. Yeah.
I just got rid of
Okay.
my daughter. I don't know if all the notions are peanut butter.
Okay.
You say something about peanut butter?
Yeah, my daughter's allergic to peanut butter. It's making me
They probably don't have peanut anything in there.
Well, most kids have.
Most kids have peanut allergies.
Yeah, I don't know what she does.
Okay.
Okay.
So assessments, 25%. Daily activities are going to be 20% of your grade. So 20% of your grade is going to come from the stuff you do in class, the stuff that we do every day. The stuff that we do is never without purpose. So even the paragraph that I had you guys write, there's a reason for that. The exit ticket that you guys are going to do, there's a reason for that. You may not know the reason, you may not fully understand the reason, but everything has a purpose. And I don't do things I do not want to grade anything extra. So I'm not going to give you something that isn't going to help me tailor the instruction for this class. Everything that we do in here is going to be with purpose. So know that. The daily activities will make up 20% of your grade. The grading guidelines are listed there. You guys can look at those. So the expected classroom materials. I need you guys to bring something to write with every day. It's a writing class. You need something. Make sure that you do not use a purple pen. That's what I use to grade and to mark things up. So I just ask that you not use purple pen. I don't care if it's green, I don't care if it's orange, I don't care if it's whatever, but just no purple pens. A notebook. So I'm going to have you guys get a notebook. If you are struggling to get a notebook, then I can help you out with that. I do like the composition notebooks. Can you hold your composition notebook? I do like these because they are bound and they stay together very well. But if you have one with spirals, Shania, can you hold yourself a little bit? Thank you. If you have one with spirals or you need one with spirals, that's fine as well. Those are usually like 20 cents. So do your best to get a notebook. If you cannot get a notebook that you can keep in this class, because you will be doing writing every day, if you cannot get that notebook, then make sure that you let me know. Okay?
I'll let you know.
Okay, let me know after class. Alright? So if you have the opportunity, I would like you guys to get a binder. The binder is going to help you keep all of the materials together. The binder will also be something that you can continue to keep with you. I have students who were in English 2 last term, and they still have stuff that I gave them to continue in English 3. And then they'll carry that into English 4 and so on. The stuff that we give you is usually important enough that you can use it for other classes as well. I would also suggest that you guys get a USB. We will be using Google Drive in here, so if you don't already have it, but you know how to set it up, then please go ahead and get in there and start playing around with it. But a USB is helpful because you can then transfer that, and then if you don't have internet, you can still access your materials. Tab device, what's that?
It saves itself, don't it? Right?
In Google Drive it does, but with Google Drive you have to have internet. So if you go someplace that doesn't have internet, then you won't be able to access it. Right. So I like to save things on a USB as well, just to keep it safe. If you don't have internet access, then you can still use your USB. Okay.
What about if you're just computer illiterate?
I knew that.
If you're computer illiterate altogether, then we are going to work through all of those issues, but a USB is usually better for you to get. Okay, so a USB is a little thumb drive. Let me grab it so I can show you what it looks like. It looks like this. And they have them at the dollar store for a couple of dollars. It does not need to be big. It does not need to hold a bunch of information. Just get the cheapest one that you can. And this is better, especially for those of you who are not comfortable with computers. This is the best option for you because then you can access this no matter what.
How much are these things?
Couple dollars.
Can you get it at Dollar Tree?
Yes. I think they have them at Dollar Tree now. I know they have them at Dollar General and Family Dollar. Okay. Any questions so far? Yes.
What kind of car did you?
I don't know yet. I'll have to think about it. No. Not a Chevy girl. That's my husband. Okay. Now we're going to get into the hard stuff. Now we're going to get into the stuff that caused some issues last hour. So we're going to talk a little bit about the class and how the class is going to be run. So the course policies, all of these course policies are with the expectation that you guys are going to act like adults. If you can't act like adults, then you don't need to be here. Definitely not in this class, but probably not even at the Excel Center. I expect you guys to be mature. I expect you guys to hold yourselves maturely. And in doing that, I've just created a few guidelines that for some may be common sense, for others it may be something that you have to learn to adhere to. So I have some guidelines here, and we're going to go over the guidelines on page 2. And I ask that you be brave. We already talked about some of you didn't take advantage of the opportunities that you had before. Some of you may have had really bad opportunity or situations before. So you are being brave just by being here. But in order to be brave, you have to believe in yourself. So I want to hear that I can't get this, and I'm really frustrated, and I'm too stupid. I don't want to hear that. That's crap. And it's something that we can work through. But I want you guys to try. If you guys do not try things, then you're never going to learn something a little bit different. So I'm asking that you guys try and really believe in yourselves. So it may work, it may not work. It doesn't always work, but I need you guys to try and put your best effort into it. The R is my biggest one. So the R is about respect. So I expect you guys to be respectful. If you cannot be respectful, I will be the first person to open the door, and I'll slam it on your way out. Because I do not like people who are disrespectful. I am also a safe zone ally, so I am a safe spot for people who are have alternative lifestyles. So that means typically people who are homosexual, gay, lesbian, transgender, questioning, queer. But it can also be people, guys, again, I can open the door and shove it closed after you if you can't be respectful. And that means not laughing at things. So sometimes you may be laughing at something else, but it's perceived a certain way. So for those of you who are in my second hour, a student said he was talking about being a grease monkey, but he said the word monkey. I thought another student was going to just reach over and just throttle him, and I was kind of like, oh, well. But you say things, and they can be taken so offensively. You do things, and they can be taken so offensively. So I expect you guys to be respectful. If you cannot be respectful, then don't even enter the door. Just don't even come in. I expect respect, and I expect you guys to respect me. So don't talk when I'm talking. Don't make noises. Don't carry on. Stay awake. Stay off your phones. A few of you, I need to say this again, stay off your phones. This is not your personal charging station, so you don't need to charge your phones in here. I need you guys to be respectful, and be respectful of everybody else. So being respectful is probably key in this class. Ask questions. So I don't know what you don't know. You need to help me understand that. So if you don't understand something, tell me. I'm not by any means the most eloquent person. My husband's a mechanic, and sometimes he says things, and I'm like, I don't even think that's a word. I don't understand. I don't know what you're saying. He rattles off numbers of engines and things that I don't know. I don't even understand. So when I don't understand something and it's something I need to know, I'll ask him. Ask me questions. Ask each other questions. If you get an assignment and you don't understand it, wait for the instructions. Read it. Most of my assignments are step by step. Do this first, then do this, then do this. Go through it and do your best, but if you don't understand it in the end, then ask questions. Value yourself. So this is an environment that is meant to help those who want to be here. So if you don't value education, if you don't value your education, then you probably aren't ready to be here. So go ahead and head out. Enter the class each day. So you will see on my board here. Do not cross the threshold of the door if you have your music on or you are on the phone. So don't come in here because obviously you're not focused. So if you have to talk on your phone, if you have some issue going on, I completely understand. I have 5 kids and 2 very important dogs. So I understand, I get it, but take those conversations outside. And that goes into the class decorum. Do not ever talk on your phone in this class, in this room. Please just take it outside. Nobody needs to know any of your business. So take your conversations outside. Make sure when you come in here that your phone is on silent. If you do have some issue that comes up, make sure you let me know ahead of time. An example of this, I had a student a few years ago, and her mom was having surgery, but there was a test that day, so she needed to be in class. So she had her phone out, she had it on vibrate. As soon as her sister called about her mom, she took her phone outside. She went down the hall, so nobody had to hear all of that nastiness. But she went down the hall, and she had her conversation. She came back, and she was able to focus. So if you have things going on, I get that, but please take those conversations outside. I also don't want you guys taking notes in your phone. So this became an issue last term. Don't take notes into your phone, so don't talk to your phone in the classroom. Okay? I do expect you guys to talk about things and discuss. We're going to have a lot of opportunities for discussion, especially when it comes to thinking of topics. And I would like this to be an open and a free environment. So hopefully we can talk about those things, but I expect you guys to be respectful when we do. If you have something that's super personal to you and you can't talk about it without getting really upset, that may not be, you may not be ready to talk about that. An example of this, it was 8 years ago that my boyfriend killed himself. Yesterday was 8 years. I'm not ready to talk about that. I'm not ready to share those things. So I'm not ready to expose all of that situation. So that's not something I'm going to bring up. I may mention it as a potential topic, but that's something that's way too personal for me. So we don't talk about things that are too personal for us, but at the same time, when somebody is talking about something, be respectful. Plagiarism. So plagiarism is going to be a big deal for you guys. Plagiarism is stealing someone's thoughts or ideas without giving them credit. So if you take a line from a song and you put it in your paper and you don't say who wrote the song or who sang the song, then you've just stolen their words and taken credit for that. That's plagiarism. That is worse than stealing, and plagiarism can actually get fines attached to it. So when you're in college, you will get fined if you plagiarize, and you can also get expelled. I've had to do that twice. So don't take someone else's words, thoughts, or ideas without giving them credit. We're going to work on that in here, and we're going to make sure that you guys don't do that. Yes?
How are you to know that? Because I used to say some things that...
you can't contemporary movies.
You know, I used to say some things that now Tupac might be saying. I mean, not him, but
yeah.
I'm just using an example. But
right. So sometimes we say things that are that everybody says, like he was over the moon about her. That's an expression. That's a colloquialism. What we call a colloquialism. Those kind of expressions are not copyrighted by an individual. But if you take something, and most of the time this is really blatant. I've had students who've stolen papers, and I send them through a database. So they've stolen papers, and they're like the first one on Google search. Like, at least go to the third page or something. Come on. But when you blatantly take something or whole chunks and don't give credit, that's when we run into the issues. So we're going to work through any little pieces that you guys have. So you're going to be reading pieces, and then you're going to have to use that in your essay. So we're going to work on how to use those pieces in your essay. We're also going to talk about the difference between quoting someone or paraphrasing someone. You give credit in both instances, but it's a little bit different. So we're going to work through all of that. We're going to work through that in here. So we make sure that you guys don't plagiarize. Most of the plagiarism is pretty blatant and pretty in your face. Like if your writing is very spotty and you always misspell certain things. Have you ever had a teacher who knows that it's your paper even if you don't have your name on it? We know because we get to know who you are as a writer, and that's why we do so much in-class work. So when you come up with this paper that's like beautiful and eloquent and it sounds really great, like, nah, this doesn't match up. Yeah. I had a student one time, she figured out how to find synonyms. So in Microsoft Word, if you right-click, then you can go down to synonyms. And then you can replace a word with a synonym. She did that for like every other word, and it didn't make any sense whatsoever. I was like, yep, this is obviously Chris's paper because it didn't make any sense. But she was trying to sound really sophisticated, and it didn't work. So we're going to work through any issues that you guys may have, and we're going to, it's not something I'm going to say, man, you plagiarized, get out, and you got a 0, and you're flunking the class, and your whole career is out the door. It's not going to be like that. We're going to work through those issues.
So is it true that your writing determines who you are?
Not necessarily. I don't think it does necessarily. My friend Tiffany is a professional writer. She was a stripper for a long time, and now she's a professional writer who writes about church. She writes about things that she researches, not things that she believes.
Or is that conviction?
Maybe.
What did you say? Or was that conviction? Oh.
Any questions over the plagiarism? Okay, got a couple more things to go through. We're going to talk a little bit about the assignments and the schedule for the rest of the term. So if you look on page 3, the assignments are due by a specific day and time. If those assignments are not turned in, then they are considered late. So if I say it's due at the beginning of class and class starts at 12:55, and you come in at 1:10 and turn your assignment in, it's late. So make sure that you're here and your paper is due when it's due. Oftentimes, because you guys are going to be turning things in electronically, I'll have a midnight due date, something like that. And those due dates are firm. They're pretty firm.
Wait a minute, you said we're gonna return, I don't have a computer or a way to.
You will be here. You will
I'll
be
buy you
working
one.
with me here.
I'll buy you one. Do you need one?
Late assignments will be accepted, but there are some stipulations on this. So I will have a certain due date that everything is due by. There will be a due date at the end of the term, but there will also be things that you can turn in up to a certain point. So late assignments are accepted, but they are deducted by 10% each day it's late. So if it's 5 days late, it's 50% off. But you still can get points for that, so you need to go ahead and turn it in, because those points might be enough that pushes you into the higher grade, so you actually pass the class. There are some assignments, again, if you have any in-class assignments, those are not going to be accepted late. So if you come late to class, we have a due now that's going on, and you come in late to class, you cannot make that up. It's usually 5 to 10 points, so it is not a big deal, because that 5 to 10 points goes into that 20% category of daily activities, and you cannot flunk this class if you miss the due nows or the exit tickets. You cannot flunk the class in that instance. It will give you more points, which will help you raise your GPA and get a better grade, but you will not flunk the class. There will be certain due dates that nothing is accepted by, and sometimes it's an essay, so I'll give you guys usually 10 days after the essay is due, because 10 days is 100% off. So that 10 days will usually be the last date that that's accepted. Again, you can get some points, but after that you won't be able to get any points. It's better to turn things in, and it's sketchy work, than not turn things in at all. You will have 1 week to make up any tests that we do, so anytime that we have a test, you only have 1 week to make that up. Attendance, participation, and tardiness. So attendance is essential. We're going to be doing a lot of in-class work. The in-class assignments that you guys do, sometimes we're going to be here, sometimes we're going to be in the computer lab across the hall, primarily because it's a really big class. It's really warm in here, it's just a lot of bodies, and everybody's usually in a different spot. So there will be times that I say, okay, this group, you guys go to the computers across the hall. This group, you guys go over to the computers and we'll get a laptop and you guys can come over here. I'm going to try to split you guys up on occasion. There will be things that you work on at home. There will be things that you work on in class. So being here is essential. I'm a real stickler on tardiness. How many of you have ever worked a job in your life? Okay. When you work a job, if you're late, you may not get fired the first couple of times, but your boss is really going to start to say, I can't trust that person. I can't trust that person to be here. So the same way, I expect you guys to be here on time. So the first time that you are tardy, I'm going to give you a note card, and I'm going to have you put your name, the date on it, and the reason that you were late. I'm also going to give you that mom look that I have, that you know better than this look. This look. Hi. Are you in here?
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you my mom look, and I'm going to have you fill this card out. You're going to put the card in the purple box over here, and that is going to be my track, keeping track of when you're late. The second time, you're going to come in late, and I'm going to give you the card, and I'm going to have you fill out your name and the date and the reason that you were late. And then I am going to say, you know what, this is your second tardy. So you've got one left, and that's it. The third tardy, I'm going to report it to your coaches. Hold on, I'm getting ready to go through it. So the third tardy, I'm going to give you the note card. I'm going to have you fill the information out. And then we do what we call the Tier 1 reporting. So with the Tier 1 reporting, your coaches have certain interventions. And the tier 1 reporting is when the coach says, hey, I need to call you in my office and we need to look at why you're being late all the time. And I'm going to give them the cards that say, oh, this is why this person's late all the time. If it's consistent, then the coach may work with you on reevaluating your schedule. If it's inconsistent, then the coach may just talk to you a little bit about what you can do to take better steps to being here on time. You guys are coming from lunch, so there isn't a lot of reason that you should be tardy. But if you happen to be tardy or you have to miss a class, let me know as soon as you can. And if you get to that third tardy, you're going to have to fill out a contract. You're going to have to sign a contract with your coach and with me before you're permitted back in the class. So you see down there, the fourth tardy. So you will not be permitted if you are tardy after that third time. You're not going to be permitted back in the class. See down here?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can be.
So third tardy, Yep. So 3 times is it. So
I got 2 crazy kids. And
I have 5 crazy kids and 2 dogs. And I have one that has major special needs too. Yeah, my husband works a full-time job. So we all have issues and we're coming from lunch. So if you have something consistent, then we can work through that issue. But I need you guys to be here. It is super disruptive when you come in late, and it disrupts everybody. It disrupts the flow of the class. So after that third tardy, you will not be permitted until you sign the contract. You will not be permitted back in the class until you sign the contract. You sign the contract, and it says, hey, I'm not going to miss any classes, and I'm not going to be late to any more classes. You violate it, you won't be in class again. Okay? Any questions?
That is within that term.
Yes. Yep. Okay. So the schedule is down there at the bottom for you guys to remind you of the passing periods. For those of you who are in my next class, if you want to leave your stuff in here and then come back because you're in my third or my fourth period class, you can do that. For those of you who are in my second period, you can leave your stuff at lunch like some of you did today. The back part, if you miss a class, so the procedures for missing classes, if you happen to miss a class, you need to let me know first of all. So send me an email, send me a text, give me a call. Let me know ahead of time as early as you know it. So if you have a doctor's appointment that's coming up on September 16th, let me know. And we can work things out. Again, this is the only class, the only writing 3 class. And next term, this class will not be a single class. Next term, this class and English 3 are going to be bolted together into a block. So some of you right now are maybe in in Math 1A or 1B. So you have 2 class periods where you're in the math room. And you're working with the same teacher on the same material, and you get 3 or 4 credits out of that. Next term, that's what this class will be. So we really need to get you guys through this term as quickly as possible and as efficiently as possible, because next term you'll have to take it as a block class. Now, for some of you, you're in my English 3 anyway, so that's not going to make too much of a difference. But next term, you'll be locked into those things. Okay? So if you miss a class, let me know. The second thing is you need to look at your folder. So you guys are period 3. This is your folder. It says absent. So if you've missed a class, come in. Like I have 2 students who missed this morning's first period. So they're going to come in and they're going to get their materials. If you look over your materials and you don't understand something, then try to ask somebody else in the class. Ask them what you maybe missed. Make sure you're looking at the YouTube video. The YouTube video will take me a day or 2 to get up. The Wi-Fi around here is not great, so it takes a while to get that information up there. And then the last step of that is to let me know what questions that you have. So if you have any questions, you'll let me know. There's a section there for you to write down any classmates' information. So if there's somebody in here and you want to write down their number, maybe you guys have other classes together, you can ask each other questions. There's a spot for that. So the last couple of things listed here, yes?
Can you have somebody come in and do zone, every class, or days? Like, can somebody come and get stuff ready? Outside of class?
If you're over 18?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fine. I'm fine with that. Yep. Just make sure that you let me know so you communicate that with me instead of the person who's showing up. Okay? The ADA statement is listed there. So if you have any kind of issues, let's say that you think it's something pretty small, it could be physical ailments. You all right? Yeah. Okay. It could be something that you think is big. My mom has a seizure disorder, so she has seizures on a regular basis. My dad is diabetic. I'm dyslexic, so I would qualify for this help. Anytime you have any issues or there's something that you're struggling a bit with, make sure you're talking to me or Miss Paula. Paula's information is listed there, so you can contact her or you can talk to me about it. If you have a lot of medications that you're on, it's usually good to get me a list of those things just in case something happens and we had to call 911, then I could give them that list. I had a student in Logansport who had seizures every day in my class, and we were in computers, and because she had seizure disorder, the computers messed her up a lot. So I was able to give the ambulance her information. Josh?
Are you want us to burn the name of our medication in?
If it's something that if something were to happen and the ambulance needed that, then yes. I had a student last term and she was on a lot of medications and they kept switching them just to try to figure things out and figure out which one is going to work for her. So she would bring me in a list usually every couple of weeks of, okay, this is the new list. This is the new list.
I have medication for epilepsy, but I only go take that time.
Okay. If it's not something like my mom, she hasn't had a seizure in years.
It's actually gotten better.
Okay, so if it's not anything that you're super worried about, you don't need to, and you don't have to by any means. It's just something that just in case, it's better to be safe than sorry.
I do have to take it.
Okay. So that may be something that we want to talk about. So the last note is just a final note that things will change in this class based on the needs of the class, based on your pace. If you guys are really struggling with the concept, we're going to spend a little longer on it. If you get it, we're going to move through it quickly. And then there are some dates that you need to remember. This term is a hard and steady 8 weeks of classes. So it's going to be consistent. There are not going to be breaks this term, so it's going to be really difficult, and we've got a lot of material to cover in a very short period of time that's not going to stop. So we don't get any vacation time, we don't get any breaks this term. The dates that you will need to remember. October 1st is when your midterm point is, so at that point I will have certain things due, and that will help me determine what your midterm grade is. Wednesday, October 28th is your final exam. You need to be here. If you cannot be here, then you are not going to be able to do the final exam unless we make prior arrangements. October 29th and October 30th, I have conferences that day in Indianapolis, so I'll be here the morning of the 29th to get your final grades in, and that will be it. So you need to be here on the 28th. Okay? All right, any questions over the syllabus? Yes, and I know it's a lot of information to go through and go over. It's important stuff, so look over it. If you have any questions, make sure that you let me know. All right, we have a little bit of time left, so we're going to go over a couple more things, and then I'll get you guys out of here as quickly as possible. So every day when you guys come in, the first thing that you're going to do is journal. So for those of you who've been in my English 3 classes and you've been in my other classes before, you did a do now. Everybody, when you come in, your do now, the first thing that you're going to do is going to be a writing prompt. That writing prompt is going to be meant for me to see where you're at, engage your skills, and how you're improving on your skills. So that is why you guys need to bring those notebooks in. I need the notebooks so I can grade them. So I have a spot over here for you guys to keep the notebooks. I'll collect them every day, and then I'll keep them over here. No one's going to get into your notebooks, so don't feel like somebody's going to be reading your information. No one else is going to read your information but me. So I'm not going to go show everybody. We're not going to be moving things around in your in your journals. You will be sharing your essays and doing a little bit of peer reviewing with that. But the journals are meant for me and you to communicate between one another. I'm going to give you something different every day that you write about, Alvin.
Like, are we still turning these in?
You're going to turn those in today, yeah. And I'm going to give you more to that in just a minute.
More to it?
Yes. Ignore the vocabulary part because I am not going to give you guys vocabulary assignments. We will have whole group instruction. So every day I'm going to go over a concept or go over an idea with you guys as a whole group. And then I'm going to try to break you guys apart as much as possible. When I break you guys apart, I'm probably going to have a group across the hall because, again, this room is so crowded and it's hot. I'm burning up right now. So I'll break you guys up. I'll split you into a group over there and a group here. Some things will be on computers, some things will not be on computers. If you have a laptop that you would like to work on, then feel free to bring your laptop and you can work on that instead of our crappy laptops, which are really, really crappy. Okay? So after we do that, then I will usually have about half an hour for you guys to work on something on your own. So this will be a chance for you to focus on the end result or a part of the process. So we'll be focusing on the writing process together, and then you'll be doing parts of the writing process. At the end, I will always have an exit ticket for you guys, and that exit ticket will again be a way for me to gauge where you're at with a certain skill, what you're struggling with, maybe what we need for the next day. Okay? So this class, the first week or two, we're going to focus, or the first week, we're going to focus on sentences to paragraphs, what it takes to go from sentences into paragraphs. We're going to focus this week on those skills, because some of you may need to move back to writing 2 before you take writing 3. Writing 3 is all about taking those sentences and building paragraphs. It's not the sentence structure. So looking at your writing, some of you, I may recommend that you go back to writing 2. I'm hoping that most of you can stay in writing 3 because, again, next term it's going to be something different, and you'll have to take it with English 3, and you won't be able to separate those. So next week and for the rest of the term, we'll focus on going from paragraphs into essays, and then we're going to add in research into those essays at the very end of the term. Okay? So just a couple of spacing things. For those of you in English 3 or those of you who've been in my classes before, you don't have to pick up a ticket, so don't worry about that. You will pick up your journals. Your journals are going to be what you guys work in. So again, if you can get a composition notebook, that's great. If you can't, I will have some here for you tomorrow. So if you can't get one between today and the end of this week, then I will get some, and I will have those for you guys. Okay? This is my corner of the world, so I don't get into your stuff, so try not to get in my stuff. The back closet back there, it has some extra materials, so if you ever need anything, I may have it. Just ask me and make sure that you let me know that you need something. Okay? Any questions? All right. Yes? You guys will have writing projects in here. So that's it. It's a little bit different from the English 3 projects, but you guys will have some writing projects in here. Yeah, I try not to call it an essay. It's more of a project because you're going to be doing the pieces too. All right, so the last thing that I want you guys to do on that sheet that has your paragraph, your version of a paragraph, I want you guys to make a list, and I want you to make a list of 4 things. So I would like 2 things you learned today, and I would like 2 things that you may still be confused by. Now, if you're not confused by anything, just give me 4 things that you learned. The things that you learned can be about me, they can be about the class, they can be about each other. Whatever it is, I need a list of 4 things. So for some of you, this last part may be a struggle. Don't use complete sentences. Yep. Just make a list of 4 things. Make sure I know what you're confused by and what you've learned. On that piece of paper that you wrote the other thing? Yeah, so I can read it. It can just be at the bottom though. That's fine. Yes.
I'll take this class before, and I feel like before, like what I was confused about, because it's just a days, bro.
So some of the things I know are different. So you can write down those things that are different. Those are the things you learned. Okay? So once you guys are finished with this, then you can turn this in and you are good for the day. So if you need something specific, you can get the syllabus out and you can start to point things that you learned.
You said not full sentences, so how would you start this out? I don't understand.
You can just put learned and then list a couple of things. Yep. Kind of like you do a grocery list. Yep. I hate those things. So if you can get rid of them, that would be awesome.